Ever walked past an old, decaying house and felt a shiver run down your spine? Picture this, a towering, abandoned Victorian mansion, its windows like vacant eyes staring out into the night. You've heard the stories, the whispers of ghostly apparitions and phantom footsteps echoing through its empty halls. But what if I told you the ghosts aren't just in the house? What if they're also in your head? Today, we're re-delving into the fascinating psychology of fear and exploring why some homes seem to be magnets for paranormal activity. We'll uncover how your own mind, combined with specific environmental triggers, can conjure a haunting experience. It's not about disproving ghosts, but about understanding the complex dance between perception, psychology, and the places we call haunted. So, what makes a house feel haunted? It often starts with the environment itself. Let's talk about something you can't even hear: infrasound. These are extremely low-frequency sound waves, below the range of human hearing. Things like distant storms, wind turbines, or even faulty plumbing can generate them. While you can't consciously hear it, your body feels it. Studies have shown that exposure to infrasound can cause feelings of unease, anxiety, chills, and even visual distortions at the edge of your sight. That fleeting shadow you thought you saw in the corner of your eye, it might not be a ghostly visitor, but your brain's reaction to these silent sound waves. The very air in a supposedly haunted location could be vibrating at a frequency designed to put you on edge, making you feel like you're being watched. Next up, let's discuss EMF, or electromagnetic fields. You've definitely seen this on ghost hunting shows. Paranormal investigators sweep rooms with EMF meters, and when the device goes wild, they claim it's a sign of a spiritual presence. But here's the thing, our homes are swimming in EMF. Faulty wiring, old appliances, fuse boxes, even your Wi-Fi router, they all emit electromagnetic fields. High levels of EMF have been linked to feelings of paranoia, dizziness, and even auditory and visual hallucinations in some sensitive individuals. One famous study by neuroscientist Michael Persinger suggested that stimulating the brain's temporal lobes with specific magnetic fields could induce a sense presence. So, when an investigator's meter spikes near an old electrical outlet, is it a spirit trying to communicate, or is it just bad wiring playing tricks on a brain already primed to expect the paranormal? It's a compelling question that places science and superstition side by side. Now, let's consider the house itself, the architecture of fear. Why are old, dilapidated Victorian homes, Gothic castles, or isolated farmhouses the classic setting for ghost stories? It's all about design and decay. These places often feature long, dark hallways, winding staircases, and rooms with confusing layouts. This is a concept known as non-Euclidean geometry in architecture, which can be disorienting and unsettling to the human brain. We are naturally drawn to predictable, open spaces. A confusing floor plan can create a subconscious sense of being trapped or lost. Add to that the natural sounds of an old house settling, the creaks, groans, and bangs. The wind whistling through a cracked window pane can sound like a mournful whisper. A branch scraping against the siding can mimic the sound of scratching at the door. These elements create a constant, low-level sensory input that our brain tries to make sense of, often defaulting to the most dramatic explanation, a ghost. But the environment is only half the story. The other, arguably more powerful, half is what's happening inside your own mind. This is where psychological priming and suggestibility come into play. If someone tells you a house is haunted before you even step inside, your brain is already on high alert. You've been primed. Every creak, every shadow, every cold spot is no longer just a random occurrence. It's potential evidence confirming the story you were told. This is a powerful cognitive bias. Your brain is actively searching for proof that fits the narrative. Think about it. If you go on a ghost tour, the guide spends an hour telling you spooky stories about specific rooms. By the time you get to the most haunted room, your senses are heightened and your imagination is running wild. That cold draft you feel isn't just a draft. It's the icy touch of the ghost you were just told about. Your belief shapes your reality. Let's also talk about a fascinating trick our brains play on us called pareidolia. This is our tendency to see familiar patterns, especially faces, in random or ambiguous stimuli. It's why you see a face in the clouds, a man in the moon, or a screaming visage in the wood grain of a door. This is an evolutionary trait that helped our ancestors quickly spot predators hiding in the bushes. In a dimly lit, supposedly haunted house, this ability goes into overdrive. The peeling wallpaper, the water stains on the ceiling, the static on a screen. Your brain desperately tries to find order in the chaos, and often, that order looks like a face or a figure. A coat hanging on a door in the dark can suddenly look like a menacing person standing in the corner. It's not a spirit. It's your brain's hyperactive pattern recognition software working exactly as it's designed to, just in a very spooky context. All of these factors, the infrasound, the EMF, the architecture, the priming, the pareidolia, combine to create something I call the fear feedback loop. It's a vicious cycle that can turn a simple feeling of unease into a full-blown paranormal encounter. Here's how it works. An environmental trigger, like a low-frequency hum or a cold spot, makes you feel slightly anxious. Because you've been primed to believe the house is haunted, you interpret this anxiety as a sign of a supernatural presence. This interpretation heightens your fear. Increased fear makes your senses even more acute and your imagination more vivid. You start actively looking for more evidence, and thanks to pareidolia, you find it in the shadows and patterns around you. Seeing this evidence validates your fear, which in turn makes you even more sensitive to the environmental triggers. The loop continues, escalating with each cycle, until you're absolutely convinced you've had a paranormal experience. Your own fear becomes the fuel for the haunting. It's a self-perpetuating engine of terror, powered by your own mind. Think about sleep paralysis, a terrifying state where you're mentally awake but physically unable to move. People often report seeing a dark figure or feeling a heavy presence on their chest. For centuries, this was attributed to demons or evil spirits. Now, science understands it as a neurological hiccup where your brain wakes up before your body does. But imagine experiencing this in a house you already believe is haunted. The experience would be 100 times more terrifying and would serve as undeniable proof that the house is occupied by a malevolent entity. The psychological context in which an event occurs can completely transform its meaning and impact. So, does this mean ghosts aren't real and every haunting is just in our heads? Not necessarily. The goal here isn't to debunk anyone's personal experiences. The universe is a strange and mysterious place, and there's so much we don't understand. But what we do know is that the human mind is the most powerful and complex instrument for perceiving reality. And sometimes, that instrument can be tricked. What we perceive as a haunting is often a perfect storm, a confluence of unsettling environmental factors and powerful psychological phenomena. It's the spooky architecture meeting our innate suggestibility. It's the silent hum of infrasound amplified by the feedback loop of our own fear. The house provides the stage, but your mind writes the script and directs the play. The next time you hear a ghost story or find yourself in a place that feels a little off, remember the hidden forces at play. Think about the silent sounds, the invisible fields, the tricks of the light, and the incredible power of your own brain to fill in the blanks. Understanding the psychology of fear doesn't take the mystery out of the world. It adds a fascinating new layer to it. It shows us that sometimes the most terrifying ghosts are the ones we create ourselves. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the psychology of haunted houses. If you found this as fascinating as I do and want to explore more mysteries of the mind and the world around us, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got so much more to uncover together. Thanks for watching.